Okay, now I have told you that water vapor after condensation, it comes down to the surface of the earth in different forms. Sometimes in the form of balls of ice, sometimes in liquid form, sometimes in the form of fog, snow, etc. Most of the time the water will come down in the form of rain only. Okay, what happened to this rain? Whenever it rains, what happens? This rainwater will flow through the sides of the hill as well as through the plain area. It will flow and finally it reaches the ocean. Okay, the rainwater which is collected by means of streams or rivers, etc. And these streams or rivers finally opens into the ocean or sea. Then what happen? And while flowing, some amount of water gets seep into the soil also. Okay, all the water as it is not going directly to the ocean, but some amount of water will be undergoing seepage. Okay, infiltration, we will say. Infiltration means passing through the soil particle towards the towards underground, and that movement of water towards the underground is known as seepage, you will say. What is that called? Seepage. SEEPAGE. Seepage means infiltration, moving through the soil particles towards the underground of the soil. Okay, that is known as seepage. As a result of seepage, some amount of water will be joining with the underground water and some amount of water will be flowing away towards the rivers. Finally, the rivers joins with the ocean or sea water. Okay, then this water will be collected there, and whenever it undergoes again evaporation process, this water will come outside as water vapor. Again it undergoes cooling process or condensation process. Again it will come down to the surface of the earth. Some amount of water will be joining with the ocean water. Some amount of water will be going under the ground. And how can we take out this underground water? What is the source of taking this underground water? Either we must have to make a well, either we must make an open well, otherwise you have to make a bore well. By making a bore well or an open well, with the help of hand pump, we are able to draw this water from underground. And the benefit of this underground water, there are some benefit for the underground water. You know what is that? The underground water will not be evaporated very fastly. So there is a benefit of underground water. Again, this underground water will not be polluted by any human activity. Underground means very deeper in the soil only the water is available. The surface layer of water like river water, pond water, etc. can be polluted by human activity. For example, we are taking our buffaloes or we are washing our cloth in river, then that water will get polluted very easily. Otherwise, some animals are taking bath in water, that water will get polluted easily. Or some waste material which are discharged from the factory released into the nearby water, that water will get polluted easily. Whereas if the water is stored under the ground, under deeper layers of the soil, if the water is collected, that water will not be polluted very easily and it will not be evaporated easily. It will not be becoming a breeding ground for the mosquitoes, and that water will not be polluted very easily. That is the benefit of underground water. Okay, we are getting pure source of water from the underground. So that is an important important benefit of underground water. Okay, now you can see nowadays the availability of water under the ground, that is becoming very less. Okay, the level of the water table is going deeper and deeper. Do you know what is the reason? Nowadays, instead of forest area, we are able to observe concrete forest in our surrounding. So what is concrete forest? Different types of large number of flats are constructed on the surface of that. They are cutting forest and they are doing deforestation. Actually, for rain, water is very important, and if the rain want to occur, plants should be there. As a result of transpiration, water comes down in the form of rain. Okay, when plants are cut by us or human activity, we are destroying the plants which are present in our surrounding. We are doing deforestation. At the same time, nobody is ready to do afforestation. What is afforestation? Planting trees, that is known as afforestation. Deforestation means what? Cutting trees. So we people are interested to cut the trees. But instead of cutting the trees, if you are interested to plant some more trees, we can get more amount of rain. But nowadays, people are constructing so many flats, buildings, etc. And moreover, they are filling the marshy areas where the water stagnant areas are there, especially in the agricultural field and all. They are filling it with the soil and constructing huge buildings. Then as a result, there is no place for water to go deeper into the soil. Okay, water collecting area all are nowadays filled with the more amount of soil and constructing buildings or houses or industries. Why? The population is increasing day by day. As the population is increasing day by day, all those people should be accommodated somewhere. For that, the flats should be constructed or house should be constructed, and for industrial activity we are making so many factories, etc. Then as a result, there is no chance of water to get seep into the soil. And moreover, even now in our own house also, we are some type of paving stones are there. Okay, paving stones means what? In order to lay on the ground, or in our courtyard and all, we are laying some tiles. Then as a result, what happens now? The water which falls on the tiles, that will be flowing from our area to some other area. Okay, the water is not going deeper into the soil. All the surface layers we are covered with so many tiles. Okay, then as a result, there is no chance of water to go inside the soil. And when water is not going inside the soil, underground water table will become lesser and lesser, or it will go deeper and deeper. So enough amount of underground water we will not be able to get. Okay, the availability of water is mainly depends on the availability of rain. At some area you can find some part of the world throughout the year there is no rain. Especially in Gulf countries and all, the rain is very less, especially desert areas and all, you can observe the rain is very less. But whereas in some other areas, they are getting rain for few days. And the more amount of rain is available for us, that is during monsoon season only. But nowadays monsoon season is also disappearing even from our states. Because of sufficient rain and sufficient vegetation in our area, our state is known as God's own country. But nowadays, what is happening? Due to the lack of water, water bodies are getting dry and dry again, and even there is no enough water for doing any type of agriculture, and this process is continuing. Actually, these all are because of the human indiscriminate activities. Okay, because of the deforestation and all, it is happening. So some area throughout the world, throughout the year, they are experiencing sufficient amount of rain, but some area, few days they are getting rain, some area there is no rain at all. So the amount of rain only making the water available on the surface of the earth. And sometimes you can see during monsoon and all, heavy rain will be there. Sometimes no rain, sometimes heavy rain will be there. And last year we have experienced that flood. Okay. The whole Kerala was under the water, flood water. And in every houses, even snakes, crocodiles, very huge trees, they all are going inside the trees. And people are going inside the room or inside the houses by using small houseboats. So many people were killed and so many properties of human beings were lost. So many animals were killed. Okay, it was a great cost, a great loss for the farmers. Their agricultural plants or crop plants all were destroyed, properties were destroyed, buildings were collapsed. Okay, there are a lot of trees were uprooted. There were a lot of difficulties we have already faced. But now gradually we recovered from it. Now we are facing another problem, that is the disease. That means COVID-19. You all are experiencing it. Okay, so whenever water is less, it will create problem, and when water is more also it will create problem. When water is less, water scarcity is increasing again and again. That may leads to a disaster that is called a drought. What is drought? Drought means what? The lack of water for a long time. So that what happens now? Agricultural field all dries up, all the plants will die, animals will die, even human beings also will die. We are lucky because we have enough water in our surrounding. Whereas in Maharashtra and some other states, now people are walking daily 30-40 kilometers. They are walking for getting one pot full of water. Just for drinking water, they are facing a lot of problem. So water scarcity is there, that will lead to a situation called drought. And whenever a more amount of rain is there, that may lead to another disaster that is called flood. So when flood occurs, what happens? Soil erosion will occur. Okay, soil erosion. Soil erosion means what? The removal of top layer of soil, landslide, etc. can happen. And this soil all will be deposited in water bodies that may also again leads to flood. Okay, so flood and soil erosion are interconnected. Soil erosion can leads to flood. Flood can also leads to soil erosion. Enough amount of rain means that leads to flood. More than enough amount of rain is there, that may leads to flood, and if there is no rain, that may leads to another disaster, that is called drought. In case of both people and their property are affected or damaged. Okay, now let us see how can we conserve water. Conservation of water means what? Protection of water. Okay, so what are the different ways to conserve water? Whenever the level of the groundwater decreases drastically, it cannot be used by us anymore. Okay, groundwater is there, but it is going out of reach. When water level is going deeper and deeper, we are not able to collect that water outside. Even by making borewell also, we are not able to collect it. Okay, then, so what to do? Whenever we are facing such scarcity of water, it is better to conserve the water. Okay, we must use the water in a judicious manner for the future generation. Otherwise, they will also have to face problem. Suppose if you have enough amount of water, you may do bath even 10 buckets of water. So whenever water scarcity is there, you have to reduce it to 1 bucket or 2 buckets. Okay. So we are not facing much problem. That's why we are simply wasting the water. Instead of taking bath in 10 buckets of water per day, if you reduce its quantity, if you reduce its number to 2 buckets of water for doing bath, the remaining 8 buckets of water you can save. Okay, you are doing many activities. Suppose you are for washing the cloth. Just for washing your shirt, if you are using 3 buckets of water, 1 bucket of water is maximum enough for washing one shirt. Okay, instead of that, when you have enough amount of water, you may switch on the motor, and that motor is pumping water into your bucket. Simply, unnecessarily, you are wasting the water. Just for washing one shirt or washing one pant, you may be using so many liters of water per day. In that case, you have to think it should be conserved for the future generation. Even for washing the face, you may use. While we are washing our face, early morning after brushing, we are washing our face, and you may switch on the tap. After switching on the tap, you are doing brushing, washing, everything. In between, you may go somewhere else to take the newspaper or to go for some other activity. After switching on the tap, you are doing many activity. When you come back, around 25, 30, 40 liters of water might be wasted. So that should not happen. So only when it is needed, you have to switch on the tap. Then you have to use it. Then immediately you have to switch it off. Otherwise what happen? There will be lot of wastage of water is there. And again, if there is any leaky tap in your home, that can be repaired, so that we can save the water. We can conserve water. So there are different other methods are there for conserving water. Whatever the daily activities we are using water, its quantity, the quantity of the water which is used by us should be limited, so that we can save water for the future generation. Again, another important method of water is water storing or conservation is rainwater harvesting. Nowadays, almost all of us are doing that. Okay, rainwater from the rooftop, we are collecting water, and by means of some pipelines that will be during the time of rain, from the rooftop, the water will be collected, and that will be sent to the nearby water tank, so that the water will be stored. But it will be having some dust particles and all, but after filtration it can be used. Otherwise, you can use that water for watering the plants, or for washing the cloth, or even for toilet purpose, you can use that water. Okay, so what is actually rainwater harvesting? There is a basic idea behind the rainwater harvesting is catch the water where it falls. Okay, catch the water where it falls. Whenever it rains, immediately we are collecting that water through pipelines, allowing that water to stay or store in water tanks, so that it can be, we can save water, we can conserve some amount of water. Again, water can be allowed, instead of sending it towards any water tank, we can send this collected water towards the soil, so that it will recharge the underground water. Okay, it will recharge the underground water. Or you may make a small pit nearby your well, You can make a pit nearby your well and allow this rainwater, collect this rainwater, allow this water to go to that particular pit nearby the well. So this water will go deeper and deeper and join with the groundwater, join with your well water. Okay, in this way we can recharge the underground water. And one more way is to recharge underground water is through the drainage area. Drainage also, lot of water is flowing, it is going somewhere else and getting wasted. Instead of that, from the drains, if you can connect some underground pipeline towards the soil, what happens now? This water which is coming through the drainages will be going deeper into the soil and it will recharge the underground water. One is collecting rainwater from the rooftop, we are collecting water. By means of a pipeline, we can connect it to a tank, and in the tank we can collect the water, or the same pipe can be opened into your agricultural land. Then the water will get trapped in your agricultural land. Again, another one, from the drainages. Drainage system is helpful for flow of water only. From the drainage system, directly you can connect a pipe to the underground soil. So, whenever water flows through the drainage system, this water will go deeper into the soil and it will recharge the underground water. These two ways are very useful for conserving water. Okay, children, let us just discuss what all things we have studied in this lesson. Okay, or let us summarize the lesson. First of all, we have studied about water, and water is found everywhere. And what is the speciality of water, what are the uses of water, and what are the conservation methods of water, all this we have discussed. So, which day is celebrated as World Water Day? March 22nd. And what is the chemical formula of water? We have discussed that is H2O. H2O is the chemical formula of water. Water is a compound. Water is a compound. And water is useful for our household activities, and it is useful for agricultural activities, it is useful for industrial activities. Okay, these are the uses of water. And our body weight, it's around 60% of our body weight is of water only. Okay, and the major part of the brain, that is water. The major part of our lungs, that is water. And major part of our heart, that is water. And water is very essential for the circulation of blood in our body. Okay. And water is very essential for the digestion of food materials in our body. Water is very essential for removal of the waste materials. We are releasing urine, that is the major content of the urine, that is water only. Okay, so water is very essential for all our life activities, at the same time household activities, at the same time it is very useful for industrial activities. It is used as a solvent. It is useful for removal of the waste material, discharging the or disposing the waste material from the industries. Water is useful. Then now what are the sources of water? Rivers, ponds, lakes, springs, rain, etc. are example for sources of water. And again we have studied about three important definitions in this lesson. One is evaporation. What is by evaporation? The process of conversion of water into its vapor form, that is known as evaporation. Then again we have studied about transpiration. What is transpiration? The loss of water from the plants in the form of water vapor, that is known as transpiration. Evaporation, transpiration. Again we have studied condensation. What is condensation? Condensation is the process of conversion of water vapor into its liquid form, that is known as condensation. So all these are some of the important points we have studied. Again we have studied how to conserve water. How to conserve water? By means of rainwater harvesting, and the drainage water can be allowed to go deeper into the soil. In this way we can recharge the underground water, and we should not waste the water. And whenever there is continuous rain, what is the result? It leads to a disaster, that is called flood. And whenever there is no rain at all for many years, that leads to another condition, that is called drought. See, these all are the points which we have discussed in this lesson. Now let us study what are the important keywords from this lesson. Okay. The first word is cloud. Okay, what is spelling of cloud? C-L-O-U-D. You know how cloud is formed? Clouds are formed by the accumulation of water vapor. Okay, water vapor will be converted into droplets of water, and these droplets of water at a certain height of the atmosphere collected together and they form clouds. Then condensation. What is condensation spelling? C-O-N-D-E-N-S-A-T-I-O-N. Okay, C-O-N-D-E-N-S-A-T-I-O-N. Condensation. What is condensation? Conversion of water vapor into its liquid form is known as condensation. Then now we'll see the spelling of drought. Drought spelling D-R-O-U-G-H-T. Drought. Spelling of drought is D-R-O-U-G-H-T. The next word is evaporation. E-V-A-P-O-R-A-T-I-O-N. Evaporation. Evaporation means conversion of water into its vapor form. The next word is flood. Flood spelling is F-L-O-O-D. Flood. Then groundwater. G-R-O-U-N-D. Ground. W-A-T-E-R. Water. Groundwater. The next word is hail. H-A-I-L. Hail means what? Balls of ice. Small balls of ice which comes down after condensation of water vapor. That is known as hail. The next one is ocean. O-C-E-A-N. Ocean. Ocean means, what is the difference between ocean and sea? Sea means the area of the ocean which is near to the land area. Okay, near to the land area, the part that is known as sea, and the outer sea is known as the ocean. Okay. The next, rainwater harvesting. R-A-I-N-W-A-T-E-R. Rainwater harvesting. H-A-R-V-E-S-T-I-N-G. Harvesting. Next word is snow. S-N-O-W. Snow. What is snow? These are small crystals of ice which is formed from water droplets present in the atmosphere. Okay, snow. Then water vapor. W-A-T-E-R. Water. V-A-P-O-U-R. Water vapor. The next word is water cycle. Water cycle spelling is W-A-T-E-R. Water. C-Y-C-L-E. Water cycle. Okay. So these are the important words, and all of you have to read the lesson many times. Every class time I used to say that you have to read, but during the doubt clearing session when I ask questions, many of you are not saying. The reason is you are not at all reading the lesson, but you have to read the lesson properly, you have to watch the videos properly. Okay. So all of you take care. Till the next time we meet. Goodbye.